going to give you a little dance.
No, you dance too.
Hang on, that's a bit dirty. Hang on one second.
You've got to dance too. Here we are. We are here for you because Loose Women is off. So we're here at 12:30. And here we go.
It's not working.
1, 2, 3. Don't you love that?
Just done my back in.
I absolutely love our Fuck Off Friday jingle.
Oh, God.
Fuck Off Friday. How are you all? Please excuse my hair. I went out last night with Kay and Jane. Jane's been away for a
What
lot.
did you do? Did you all have a shag?
No, that's what it looks like, doesn't it? I look like I've been dragged through a hedge
If you'd
backwards.
seen what we've been filming this morning, you'd think we've been up to all sorts of things.
We have been filming some very funny
Very
things.
funny things.
Yes, so, yes.
So hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
How are you all? If this is your first time joining us on Coffee Moaning at 12:30 instead of Loose
Turn
Women,
off now.
because Loose Women isn't on, we do songs for happy birthdays and anniversaries and stuff, and we do them at the end. So if you want us to do a happy birthday or anything for anyone, tell us and then we'll write it down and we'll do it towards the end. So, yeah, I went out last night.
How's your head? I did Married
It's
at First Sight.
okay, because I had a delicious lychee martini,
Right.
2, and then I had,
That escalated quickly.
and then we had a bottle of wine between
Right.
3.
Wow, that's okay.
That's not
That's
that
not
much.
a lot.
That's not a lot.
That would have been my
But-
aperitif before.
What the Mark! I hate you!
One of those mornings.
But what gave
Afternoon.
me a really bad hangover was the fucking
Cigarette.
bed.
The crack.
The crack. It was crack that did me
I
in.
always find the crack gets me right at the end when I've escaped all other pitfalls.
Oh, I did something so naughty last night. Really naughty. And I haven't done
Was
that
I awake?
for years. Do you know what I did?
Was I aware?
I had a piece of toast before I went to bed.
Flitzing it.
No, I had a piece of toast before I went to bed. And it just goes to show it's the worst thing you can do because I was starving when I woke up this morning. Now, those of you that follow us here regularly know that both of us do something called the 16-8 way of
I haven't
eating.
done it for a while.
I've done it.
Gin.
Mark, why are you being... You're being really annoying. Stop it.
No.
Don't do it because it's annoying.
The hell are you trying to... Am I supposed to take you seriously after the stills I got of you today? Is this cross-eyed Bertie here?
But anyway, we do 16-8, which means we eat within a window of 8 hours, and we fast.
Have sex for 16.
And we have sex for 16, and then we fast for 16 hours, right? So, because I broke that fast and I had this piece of toast, I've just been in the drawer on my Instagram, tempted to open this and squeeze this directly into my mouth. That is how out of kilter I am, because I was eating white toast and porn star martinis at 11 o'clock last night. Anyway, so this leads me on very nicely to this topic that we're going to chat about today. Bigger breakfasts are good for you.
Yeah, it's true. They've done studies. Now,
Tell us.
well, just a bit. Sorry, I just wanted to make a note. Someone said Eva O'Mahany's birthday. Could I get a birthday message? Joe Ward,
Yeah.
happy birthday. Let me just make notes. Obviously, we're doing the Friday quiz at the end.
First of all, who does eat breakfast? And you see, when I saw this article come up, I thought, I don't want to read that because I don't want to stop doing 16-8, because 16-8 really helps me balance my weight. I get to eat what I want, blah, 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 blah. But then I thought, hang on a minute, why am I being resistant to this? Because your breaking of your fast can happen at any time. Just because I don't break my fast till 10 doesn't mean... But actually, the way that I've been eating recently with my 16-8 is I have a huge breakfast, like
Whoa.
2 eggs, bacon, avocado, whatever. And do you know what? I have to fight to be hungry for dinner later.
Well, you know what? You are incidentally
Protein.
intercepting newfound research that seems to concur with your theories, madam.
Right.
What they're saying is that, yeah, precisely, if you eat more in the morning and essentially your food
Or whenever you break your fast.
tapers down throughout the day, you're more likely to lose weight and you're more likely to be less hungry later in the day.
forget about
And it
even
aids
just
with weight loss, but it
because-
does aid with weight loss.
No, because what happens with this way of eating is that weight loss becomes a side effect of it. It becomes a side effect. It really does. Yeah, it's that old-fashioned saying: eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper.
Precisely.
And that is so true.
Precisely.
So sometimes, like Mark will say, "Oh my God, is that all you're having?" Because I have such a I'll have a tiny bit of what, but it's literally because I'm not hungry.
But do you have to go to the full extent of sitting there eating it in a thong? Because it's weird. The way you dress down for dinner is really strange.
Shut up.
Yeah, the glasses are ridiculous.
I love my glasses.
You look
Oh,
ridiculous.
it says Vorsprung door technique. Look at him, bloody cheek.
FinTech. Well, look, the University of Aberdeen have found that actually, contrary to what we're saying right now, is that people burn the same amount of calories whenever they have their biggest meal of the day. But they say that appetite was noticeably smaller after bigger breakfasts. So it's not...
It's called the world of chrononutrition.
I was just going to say chrononutrition, i.e. time and nutrition. And they're looking at the rhythms of the body clock. They had 30 volunteers. They prepared for them their meals for 2 months with breakfast, lunch and dinner, all adding up to 1,700 calories a day each. They spent 1 month having a huge breakfast, using up nearly half their daily calories, followed by a smaller lunch and an even smaller evening meal. And they then measured people's... I didn't realise you could measure calorie intake and output by precisely using doubly labelled water. People's metabolism was precisely measured using doubly labelled water, which is denser than normal water and can be tracked. So the key difference was, to appetite and hunger levels. Because for me, I have for sure eaten what I need to eat in a day, but my appetite and hunger levels go through the roof at night, so I don't understand what I'm supposed to do.
Your problem, and this is the problem with lots of people, and I nag my kids about this all the time, is if you don't eat enough protein, you will be hungry all the time.
So that's what you eat, right?
Tell me, what is protein?
Meat, nuts, milk and cheese.
Fish, lentils,
Nutella?
chickpeas, Nutella, no, not Nutella.
Raisins.
So if you don't eat enough protein, then you will be starving at night.
Professor Alexandra Johnston says if you can start your day with a healthy big breakfast, you are more likely to maintain physical activity levels and maintain that control over appetite for the remainder of the day. I now have been sliced by sunlight. Can we move to the left a bit more?
So yeah, just try and have lots of protein as well. We'll have protein in every single meal, and then you won't be so hungry. So like just having a sandwich and putting a slice of ham in for your lunch or a slice of cheese, you are going to be starving. That's why so many people at 4 o'clock are ramping and raging and looking for food, because there just basically hasn't been enough to sustain you through to dinner.
But they do make an interesting observation. If the suggestion or the inference seems to be that you should eat in a more detailed and considered fashion in the morning. And I think in our time-poor kind of culture, it's very difficult to do that. So like they say, people are trying to maximise their sleep and don't have time in the morning to prepare or sit down and eat a larger meal. Yeah. So therefore, by default, we eat a larger one in the evening.
Or eat it later, eat it at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I guess so.
Martina does 16/8 from 11 to 7, 2 mornings a week.
Yeah, we call that here for you.
2 mornings a week, about 10. I have oat milk cappuccino. Yeah. Well, usually when I do coffee moaning, that's the first time. But anyway, so guys, have a bigger breakfast.
Steph Schultz says, I'm screwed then. Don't eat breakfast, lunch, or much protein.
You don't eat breakfast or lunch?
When you have a husband for a personal trainer, it keeps you in the right frame of mind and in touch too, Miriam W.
But are you tired all day, Steph? Because you're literally, it's like, could you take your car out without any petrol in it? You're literally doing your whole day without any petrol. Kind of petrol.
Got to have petrol in the tank, darling. You've got to. So recommendation. So, it's funny because I would have to really break with tradition, because for me, I like to wake up, because there's been all these studies showing that if you exercise on an empty stomach, you have much more increased
listen
body
to what the
weight
actual
loss.
word means. Break it down. Break fast.
No, I know what.
So
break
it doesn't
fast
have
means.
to be first thing in the morning. So your breakfast, your break fast can be at 11 o'clock when you've done your workout and all of that, but just make sure it's bigger and it's got protein and it's bigger than your dinner.
Okay. Well, I forgot to play our new news jingle.
Play it. Oh,
Hang on.
Christos!
Good morning.
Welcome. It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime. It's Christmas!
Oh my God, God.
Could that be
guys.
the gingerbread men?
Ding, 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 ding. I'm starting to get excited about Vlogmas. I sniffed a candle that I haven't lit for ages, and I was sniffing it.
Don't call me that.
No, shut up.
I
never
sniffed a
it.
candle.
I sniffed a candle, and I'm just wondering, oh, what is that smell? And it was Christmas smell.
Oh,
it was
Christmas.
pine.
Oh my
And I got a
God.
little moment of going, oh, Christmas,
I've just realised. Chris Pine.
Chris pine.
Christmas pine.
Oh.
I wonder if that's why Harry Styles spat on him. Because he did spit on him. We all know he did. He dribbled on him. Okay, well that's your bigger breakfast. Wait, boomf. Royal makeover. Before we get on to the big story about in-laws and weddings. Obviously, we've talked about the fact that stamps are going to change. What are you looking forward to? I think it's going to become collectible, guys. I mean, should you be kind of like collecting like
What are you
mad?
talking about?
Stamps, coins. The Queen's head is going to be removed. The King's head is possibly going to be popped on things, though not everything.
But have you seen the new notes? It's not very nice.
I haven't seen them anywhere. Where have you seen? I keep trying to find them. Where?
Well, I've seen photos of them. I haven't held them.
No.
But I've seen
But
photos.
anyway, I don't know if you've noticed, there are lots and lots of items that you can buy in the shops that have the sort of royal warrant on them, or the royal crest of approval. Do you know what I mean?
It's really difficult to get them.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I thought you meant the actual
win them.
products. To win them, yeah, to secure them. And they have to be renewed every 5 years or so. And there are over 800 brands that automatically, upon the death of the Queen, lost their right to use the royal coat of arms. They have to reapply. And basically, if Charles doesn't like Marmite or tomato ketchup, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And you saw what it was like with that pen. He doesn't suffer fools gladly. So which brands use this? Which brands could be up for... I was quite surprised by some of the brands that have the royal sort of assent, if you like, or the royal... What is it? The royal warrant. Cadbury's, Coca-Cola, Kellogg's, Boots Opticians. Did you know that?
Well,
There's a
no, I'm quite
crest of a-
surprised by Carluccio's.
Heinz,
Bacardi Martini.
Bacardi Martini.
I can't remember seeing any of these on.
So all of these warrants will now be reviewed and granted, or not, by the Queen's successor, King Charles. But what are some of the things? HP Sauce, Christos, absolutely right. So what are some of the things that I have to say I'm looking forward to. Except that we are in a period of mourning. I'm not saying like one's relishing the prospect of this. But I'm curious to see what the new stamps are going to look like. I don't know why.
I've seen it. It's
Well,
horrible.
I've seen mock-ups. You don't
Yeah.
like? Is that the portrait they're going to use?
It's really.
How do you know?
I don't know. The kids showed me it. They said this is the new stamp.
Yeah, I
Paddy
know.
did.
No. I've seen the mock-ups. But how does anyone know that that's the profile shot we're going to use of Prince
Because
Charles?
I think hasn't that been released?
No, I think they should use the one of him when he had dreads. Don't you? He had much longer hair. I think they should do one when he's got longer hair. Tabasco sauce, Caroline. Oh, that's another one. I agree. Yeah. Morecambe Bay shrimps. Do they have the royal warrant? Be weird without the Queen on everything. I agree. Lyle's golden syrup. It's funny, isn't it? It's become a design. It's one of those iconographic things that you see on products, isn't it? And you go, oh yeah, no, it's very familiar. So I wonder if in the interim,
Lyle's golden syrup.
I wonder if they have to take them
You're right.
off until they get them
Rod's life.
Re-
Rue's life. Yeah.
reassigned. Anyway,
Really squished against
sorry,
this.
it's just because I'm
Is there any
trying.
way
It's
you
only
can
'cause I'm trying to
just
the
swirl
sun.
it a bit? 'Cause
There you go.
I'm
Sorry,
sticking
darling.
into my leg.
Sorry about that, sweetheart.
Finished?
Yeah.
So I don't. This being. Oh my God! I do feel sorry for the Beckhams at the moment.
you?
So much speculation the whole time about whether they've fallen out with the Beckhams. And I always see them as a very, very close family, very loving family. But it's just been constant speculation since the wedding to Nicole Peltz. Is it Peltz? Brooklyn Beckham, Nicole Peltz. And today's story is suggesting that Victoria and Nicola's mum fell out. Now, Nicola parents are super
I was
crazy
going to say, I think all I
wealthy.
know about this is Nicola Peltz's.
They have an enormous house with a jetty and and the boats and all of this sort of stuff. So apparently there was no discussion as far as the mother-in-law, Brooklyn's mother-in-law was concerned, in that they would have the wedding at their house. And apparently Victoria wanted to do a second wedding at Cotswolds, and then there's this big rift. So it just got us thinking about weddings and mother-in-laws. Can you imagine your mum, like, being funny about why you got married? I don't
Not
think
at
she
all.
knew a single thing about what was happening with our
No,
wedding.
no, she didn't. No, in fact, I don't think she knew it was happening until the day.
No,
just
she
kind
did,
of-
because she started
No,
drinking.
I'm joking.
You know what Mark's mum did to prepare for our wedding? I wonder if you know the answer to this.
Down the bottle of vodka,
No,
drank a bottle of champagne.
no.
Rolled a
In the
spliff.
weeks, in the weeks up.
Oh,
to
she
the wedding.
bought a hat.
She bought a hat,
She
which
bought
is
a hat.
so bizarre because
mum
if you
wore a
knew
hat.
lots of you know his mum, but lots of you don't. It's so bizarre. No, the strangest quirk. It was
Oh,
like an
yes.
A-lister celebrity preparing.
Yes.
And if you know Nanny Di, you know Nanny Di.
Can
It's
I
not
have
like
another
this.
guess?
Yeah.
The vinegar diet.
Yeah. She went on the cider vinegar diet before our wedding.
Yeah.
Think about it. I've never heard your mum before or since ever talk about diets or.
She is a bit, but she likes a
She
fad.
looked amazing. She put makeup on.
Yeah, you did. You look great, Mum. She likes a fad.
So what she did was, before every meal, she drank a glass of
pint of
cider
cider
no,
vinegar.
It wasn't a pint, and don't do that, guys, because that will make you very
It will
ill.
hurt.
But she drank 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar before every meal and lost. But I think
Josh
she must
Wilkinson is obsessed with your top button.
Why?
He keeps saying, "Do it up, take it out, take it out." I don't know whether he's teasing you, but either leave it done up or not.
But
What poison, says Dearheart? What poison? Oh, the cider vinegar. So what is the idea behind the cider vinegar? It burns
well,
through.
it's an old-fashioned. There's an idea that it does something for your digestion, helps you lose weight. I don't think it's true. I mean, your mum did lose weight, but I don't think it was anything to do with the cider vinegar. But that was as much as she knew about the wedding. So actually, we were really lucky. In fact, we knew nothing about our wedding.
No one knew anything about
We
it.
knew
But in terms of
absolutely
in-laws,
nothing because my mum and my sister Dina planned the entire wedding. We didn't know the colour scheme. We never looked
we knew
at
the
plates
cakes, and
or
the cakes
invites.
came wrong. Do you remember we
Yeah,
knew
the
the cake?
cakes
We
came
chose
wrong.
the cake, but we
The
didn't.
only thing I'd said was like, oh, I'd really like a tower of like cupcakes. It was in the day before everyone was doing cupcakes. I said like loads of pastel cupcakes. Good classic me. The only thing I had any opinion on was the bloody cake. I was pregnant at the time, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to drink. So I said, can I have a whole lemon meringue pie to myself? So my mum got her brother to make us a whole lemon meringue pie, and I did eat the whole thing myself. Anyway, so that was the only thing we said. My mum and sister had done this beautiful marquee in the garden and everything, and it was lovely. And we walked in, and there was a tower of cakes. But somewhere along the line, the cake people had heard brown and beige. So that all the marquee was done out with sweet pea flowers, and it was all like sweet pea colours. My bouquet was sweet pea. Do you remember any of this?
Yeah, vaguely.
Don't you fucking don't?
Yeah, I did. I remember it vividly. I know
Do you
you like
remember
to think
the
that I
sweet
was.
pea flowers?
Yes,
Do you
I
remember
do.
the
Yeah,
daffodils
you had
in
them
every
all over
corner?
you. Yeah.
Do you remember the daffodils in every
I don't
corner?
remember the daffodils. No,
You don't remember the
I
daffodils?
don't remember. I hate daffodils.
Well, that's good because there wasn't any daffodils.
Yeah, I
was
fucking
trying to
hate
catch you
daffodils.
out. I loved. Stop swearing. I love daffodils.
No.
No, but it's worse from you because you're a boy.
Fuck. You know you've made a mistake there. Fuck it all.
But,
Fuck it all.
But
I remember a friend of ours coming into the tent, walking so drunk, he was a comedy drunk. He walked straight into one of the central pillars of the marquee
Yeah.
and fell back onto his back and didn't rise. It was literally like out of a movie.
oh, Sorcha King says her sister didn't want to do anything. She booked everything. Well, we were like that. We weren't control freaks in any
No,
way. I mean, I don't think there could be less of a bridezilla than me.
No.
I even forgot to book anyone to do my hair and makeup, so I had to do it myself.
Yeah.
But so my mum did it for us because we wanted her to do it. But if you actually think about the reality of that, 2 mother-in-laws fighting about how the wedding is going to be done, does a mother-in-law have the right to sort a wedding? And I do think it's unfair that it's nearly always the daughter that's
I think
mother
they do
that
if
wins.
they're paying.
I always think it's the daughter's mother that wins. No, I don't think it is, even if you're paying.
Well, no, I mean, if as long as the couple are plugged in and involved in some way, and they're not just sort of take, I think that's nice. I mean, I think everyone, is a wedding just for the couple? Really? It's like a funeral. Is a funeral really for the dead?
That's why I love that apparently there's much more of a fashion now for people to, you know, have a party, go off and get married, have a party, and then spend their money on their mortgage or on... If you had your time again...
Would you get married?
The money that you spent on your wedding, would you not have done the wedding and done something differently? I really want to know this. Anyone got an opinion on that? I want to know now. Maybe my mother-in-law was genuinely awful. Nobody liked her and she couldn't give a toss about our wedding.
Wow.
It's awful.
Hilary Daly, renew your vows, not vows.
Oh yeah, do you remember
maybe.
that was Lisa thought it was vows?
Fiona Reid, we had a small registry wedding. I hate being centre of attention. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, a lot of people like little quiet affairs, don't they? I mean, what is the story? So who
Well,
was...
look, I had a bring and share wedding. What
Oh, that's
happened with
nice.
that, Tim?
Do you bring your own?
Never heard of that.
It's all sorted, Vanessa, no worries. Victoria, so what has been overruled here? Victoria Beckham was overruled about where she had the wedding. I was
No,
a
we
bit
don't know.
unclear.
No, it's just a peg. We're just talking
Oh,
about
right.
weddings now because we don't even know if it's true.
Oh, right, okay.
But apparently there was a row between the two mother-in-laws as to where the wedding would be.
Got it. Yeah, well, could you imagine my mum and your mum?
Oh, no, that's what I mean.
Fisticuffs. I mean, that's a joke. They'd have fisticuffs over the amount of alcohol back in the day when my mum used to drink.
Yeah, look, you guys might be planning weddings.
Absolutely. We eloped this year and got married at a festival, says Gracio D.
Oh,
That would be nice.
nice.
That would be nice. Yeah, we definitely want to renew it. We wanted to renew our
Oh,
vows.
look, this is nice. Miriam, yes, I would do it all over again and spend every pound and penny again. Oh, that is lovely. Yeah, because when you hear those people say, oh my God, it really was the best day of my life and it was so amazing, I think it's good. But you so often hear people go, oh my God.
Yeah, no, I
When I
agree.
got there, I was like, and it's knackered, and we were rowing all the time. And
Yeah. If not planning, defo's paying, ha ha ha.
So
Sarah
Sarah.
Bradley. We had big party, says Louise N. Week long in France, no regrets, but we did skimp a bit compared to what some friends spent. I tell you what I get at a British wedding.
Angela Thompson, 61 now, I'd do it all over again.
I tell you something that I find really sort of presumptuous in some people's weddings is when I remember working with someone who said they were doing their wedding and they were going to do it abroad, and they were getting a little bit indignant as to why everyone hadn't RSVP'd saying they were coming. Everyone else had to pay to go where
This
they were
happens
going.
a lot.
This happens a lot, but to get offended when you assume that everyone else can sort of, you know,
But don't you think some people
Jump to your tune.
do weddings abroad so that people won't come?
that's tricky. That's clever. I see what you mean. Yeah, that would make sense. Do you remember after our wedding, didn't a marriage happen out of our wedding? Two
Yeah.
people met and married.
Yeah,
didn't they?
mate.
Yeah.
Camera got
Yeah,
cut.
Heath. Yeah, that's right. It's also outdated now. Julie Franks, I've got a prediction. I think weddings will be so not happening in about another 30 to 40 years.
Do you?
Yeah, I really do think that. I think it's
Thank you, good ship.
not because everyone wants to be unfaithful or have lots of other relationships, though there is that, but I just think cost, and I think, you know, the future of the world, it doesn't hold the same allure.
Claire Hemming, if I were to meet somebody again, I would get married in Cornwall. Well, if we do renew our vows,
Renew
I
our
want to do it
vows.
in Cornwall.
We're going to renew our vows. That was the idea, Miss One Tricia. You're absolutely right. We're going to renew our vows. Saoirse King, I wanted to get married and come back and have a big party, but my husband said, look, we only do it once, 200 guests. I enjoyed the smaller party the next day.
Did you?
Yeah, it does. Weddings do tend to take a bit of a dark turn at a certain point, don't they? They do tend to go a little haywire.
Rose Cavalier, we saved for our wedding. My neighbour made my dress, bought the booze, flowers, all on a budget. Mine was at my home, a lovely sunny day, so we spilled out to the garden. That's a bit like ours. Ours was all at home, so it was next door at
Lovely
my mum and
sunny day.
dad's, just in the garden. It was boiling.
Yeah, it was boiling. Yeah, don't remind me.
Sweat.
Adele H, I have been married 29 years and loved my big wedding. My daughter got married in May and wanted the big wedding too. It was worth every penny.
No.
Heather, someone here just said, Sandra Beveridge, I agree. It's so expensive to be a guest at a wedding. You're
It
absolutely
really
right.
is, isn't it? Of the presents. and-
April Hill, not married yet. Hint, hint, Tom.
Tom.
If you're listening,
Tom.
If you're listening.
Tom.
Yeah. Talking of being invited or not to a wedding, Vladimir Putin wasn't invited to the Queen's funeral, and he's described it in translation as immoral and blasphemous. Now you're saying that's because there isn't an
think that's-
accurate translation.
Yeah, I just think I think he must mean like disrespectful or something, because obviously. blasphemous doesn't fit there.
Well-
But apparently it's notoriously difficult.
Well, if he
translating
sees
Russian to
himself
English.
as a sort of messianic character, then it would be blasphemous, wouldn't
Oh
it?
God, what you see is seeing himself as a god.
If he sees himself as a god, that's why it's slightly concerning
Oh,
language, because he
oh.
sees himself as immoral and blasphemous.
Oh,
Then
right.
but he's not the only leader to be excluded. The leaders of Syria, Venezuela, Afghanistan, Belarus and Myanmar have also been left out. But you don't need to worry. If you're with any of their parties, head to the Wetherspoons on Oxford Street, and they're all getting together for a little whip round and a chin wag. They're not really. The UK has been a strong supporter of the Ukraine in the ongoing war, which is why Russia is uninvited. Now, the Chinese delegation, you were saying China weren't invited. They were. What do you think of this? The Chinese weren't allowed in to see the Queen lying in state. And there was a bit of a to-who about that, because the Chinese have got sanctions against 5 British MPs. So they were allowed to visit, they're allowed to attend, but they weren't allowed to see her in state. So even in her death, there's all sorts of political shenanigans and diplomatic issues, flying all over the place. What was that? I think that's Natasha talking about translation.
That was a friend of. I'm just so fascinated on how the royal family, just because there's some just pictures there of Charles and Harry with his hand over his head, which is the only sort of real, moment of real emotion. Some of them are teary-eyed, but. It was Prince Charles's closest friend was talking on the radio today, and Nick Ferrari said, "How do they do it?
What?
How do they stay
Oh, yeah.
so controlled?" He said, "Because from the day of their birth, they're taught that everything that they do is
But I think it's
watched."
different for William and Harry. I mean, I think William did have a breakdown, didn't he? Wasn't he crying
No,
when he was...
not on the procession.
No. When he was laying the flowers, there was lots of footage yesterday, I think, of him being tearful, and there was
Yes,
Kate
and he
was
said-
comforting him. And I'd have thought that there must be times where, with the whole thing of public displays of affection, public displays of emotion, it is hard, because they have to strike a weird balance, because if they look too unaffected, it's not that they aren't
It's just
unaffected,
interesting the
then
way
it
he
might
said-
strike a wrong
yeah,
chord
it's
with the
interesting
public.
He said they are trained from birth to control themselves and
stiff
control
upper
their
lipness.
emotions. Yeah,
Wow.
true stiff upper lip. And we are witnessing it, aren't we? What is the vigil tonight with William and Harry? I think that's going to be really moving watching that.
Yeah, I agree. Let me just have a look. I don't know if that is...
Is that tonight? They'll know. They always know the answer. Is it the vigil tonight with there's 15 minutes, isn't there, where there's going to be a group
It is,
of
yes.
them.
Yeah.
Who is it? Is it William and Harry and
Tomorrow
Charles?
night for 15
Oh,
minutes,
it's
Melanie
tomorrow
Gibson
night.
is saying.
Thank you.
Well, people are saying tonight and tomorrow night, so I don't think we really know. I don't know if it could be tonight. King Charles and the Queen Consort have arrived in Wales. He's doing his sort of tour
She's
of
got
the
broken
nations. Has she? Do you think it was curious? I mean, he went for a day of rest, but they went to different households.
I think that's weird.
You want
He
to go
said
back together and so.
The King and the Queen Consort have gone for a day of reflection and rest. The consort has gone to her house and he's gone to his house.
Yeah.
I didn't know they didn't live in the same house.
No, I didn't.
Or maybe
I
they
didn't.
just keep separate houses.
And it
Just
looks.
if they ever fancy a night on their own.
Yeah, or maybe he's snoring or she's snoring.
Yeah.
They just
We
drive.
need a different
yeah,
house, don't we?
exactly. You can see I'm struggling with a slice of light, blinding light across half my face.
Well, listen, you're moving into
Entrance to
quiz time.
Southwark Park has been closed as the Queen Line
Yeah.
Estate queue has reached capacity. So it looks like Ashley, you managed to get
Well
there.
done, Ashley.
Yeah, the queue is now an estimated 11 hours long. There's definitely going to be a number of people who don't make it. Imagine being there for 11 hours, you get to the end and they shut the door, because they're going to have to be strict on closing the doors, I think.
Because she so is today the last day then? No, it
No,
can't be.
I'm not saying that. It's over the weekend, but I'm saying
Yeah.
at that point
Yes.
there will be a queue of about
Yeah.
11 hours still probably,
God.
there'll be all those people still in the street. So yeah, it's time for the quiz, but before that we want Nadia to sing Happy Birthday to Joe Ward.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear
Joe.
Joe.
Happy birthday to you. And happy birthday to Deborah's mum.
Deborah's mum, happy birthday.
Deborah's mum.
Happy birthday to you.
Where
Happy
are you
birthday.
going? I don't know what the fuck. Hang on, Deborah's mum. Start consistently.
Because I thought we were doing
Happy
the
birthday, Deborah's
you.
mum.
Happy birthday to
Deborah's
you.
mum.
Happy birthday, dear Deborah's mum. Happy birthday to you.
Now shout out to Billy Talon's wife. Billy Talon's wife, you rock. Oh, the sun's gone in just for a moment. Okay, well, we're gonna do the
I'm
quiz.
going to bugger off because it's marked Friday quiz.
Well, it's your
moment.
Friday quiz. A number of you really like the Friday quiz. So if you're not here for the quiz, we will see you
Love
on the
you.
morrow. Oh, hang on. There's a members live for members tonight at 7:30. There's a members live tonight at 7:30.
See you tomorrow, guys.
And
oh no, actually we're putting up, I did a really nice recipe.
Yeah, which is just
so
landing.
This is going up after this.
Yeah.
So
It might be up already,
yeah,
actually.
have a look at that. It's so delicious. Garlic chicken goddess bowl. You can also make it vegan.
And also, it's a no-name Saturday show. So we will be giving you the details on that shortly. But before that, I think we have to do... A green figured help is coming very, very soon. It's Fuck Off Friday, which means it's quiz time, which means you've got 7 questions. Let's see how many you can get right, guys. Excusez-moi. And straight after this, you'll have seen landed as a Meals in Minutes, so that'll be fun. Looking forward to the members live tonight, Julie Evans. Yeah, it'll be nice. Hopefully, you never know. Nanny Di might be here. She might be able to share her pearls of wisdom. She might even tell you what it's like to be the mother of a guy who's managed to get his film selected for the long list of the Oscars. I don't know. She might want to talk about that. Okay, so here we go. So question 1. Apple TV Plus series Ted Lasso, which is about an American in charge of an English football team, won a 2nd successive Emmy Award for Outstanding Comedy Series. But what won for Best Drama? It's a long and involved question. What won for Best Drama at the Emmys? Was it A, Squid Game, B, Succession, or C, The White Lotus? Which of those, A, B, or C? Take your pick, pop pickers. For some reason, my music player then immediately goes into Christmas tree. It is, lots of you are saying C. No, it is B. It is B, Succession. Question 2. Tennis great Roger Federer announced he would retire this month, bringing down the curtain on a 24-year career. But who did he beat to clinch his first Grand Slam tournament? Was it A, Nadal? Was it B, Philippoussis? Or C, was it Pete Sampras? Was it A, Rafael Nadal, B, Mark Philippoussis, or C, Pete Sampras? Any tennis fans here? I used to like tennis and then I got bored, if I'm honest. Lots of you saying, well, Wonder Woman saying C, Claire Hemming, Margaret O'Brien saying A, Nadal. Lots of you saying Nadal. Nicole Marcella saying, lots of you now saying Pete Sampras. Do you remember Pete Sampras? He was a solid pair of hands, wasn't he? Christos is saying B, Mark Philippoussis. Sorry if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly. It is B, Mark Philippoussis. Bedaloo, there you go. B. Question 3. Meteorologists described as exceptional the formation for a 3rd consecutive year of which weather phenomenon which is forecast to bring above average rainfall to parts of Australia? So what is this exceptional weather phenomenon? A, a haboob, B, La Nina, or C, the polar vortex? Which is it, guys? Whilst you're thinking. You've got to remember, it's hashtag Fuck Off Friday. That's what we say to Fridays. Don't fuck with us, Fridays. What are you saying? It's split all over the place, really. Sarah Withington, Fiona Reid all saying C, Christoph saying B, Angela saying A, Pauline, Katie saying C, Nicole Marcella saying C. Lots of you going for polar vortex. Joe Ward saying B, Anna Charalumbus C, Selena Lufog C. It's B, it's La Nina. It's La Nina. Question 4, if you're a Popcorn Junkies Instagram follower, you'll know this. There were tributes to pioneering French New Wave cinema director Jean-Luc Godard, who died at 99. As well as creating a string of groundbreaking films, he worked with which British band in the 1960s? A, the Beatles, B, the Rolling Stones, or C, the Who? Tricky one, but you can kind of work it out. Is everything B today? That's a good question. Is it A, the Beatles, B, the Rolling Stones, or C, the Who? Who did Jean-Luc Godard work with? Which British band in the 1960s? Good Ship Lollipop saying the Who. Fiona Reid saying the Beatles. Excuse me. Nicole Marcella saying the Rolling Stones, as is Karen Oliver, Raspberry Mojito Girl, Carol Aviard, Sarah Withington, Katie Travers, Bev Hartnell. It is B. It is the Rolling Stones. B. Tracy's 60th birthday. Could you have a shout out? Big shout out to Tracy. Happy birthday, Tracy, on your 60th. Sorry, we did some birthdays a minute ago. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tracy. On your 60th, happy birthday to you. Okay, question 5. The Michelin Guide, regarded as the Oscars of the culinary world, the what of the culinary world, expanded into a new territory, awarding coveted stars to 13 restaurants in which city? A, Cape Town, B, Dubai, or C, Toronto? So it's expanded into a new territory, awarding coveted stars to 13 restaurants. Which one? Which one of those three? Anna Charalumbus has got 1 out of 4. Bev Hartnell says A, Cape Town. Margaret O'Brien says Cape Town. Wonder Woman says Toronto. Turquoise Turtle, welcome Turquoise Turtle. Fiona Reid says Dubai. Shonsta Migmon says Dubai. Sazzle, or is it Sazzy? Sorry, Sazzy, says Cape Town. Angela Thompson, it's Toronto. It's Toronto, where the Toronto Film Festival is currently underway. Oh yeah. Question 6. Question 6. I'm going to ask you how many you've got at question 6. Oh, this was sad. Actress Gwyneth Paltrow, who died at 76, will be fondly remembered by millions who grew up watching Grange Hill. But what was the full name of the head teacher she played for 10 years? Was it A, Bridget McCluskey? Was it B, Ginny McCluskey? Or was it C, Polly McCluskey? Was it A, Bridget McCluskey, B, Ginny McCluskey, or C, Polly McCluskey? For any foreign followers, Grange Hill was a very, very popular children's drama, if you like, that was on BBC television back in the 70s, 80s. It was great. It was brilliant. I loved it. It was fantastic. And if they brought it back, it would just never be the same. You can't recreate some things. I think Katie Travers and Pauline Roberts are both saying Ginny McCluskey. Lots of you, though, are saying A, Bridget McCluskey. And if you were saying A, well, if you were saying C, Polly McCluskey, you'd be way off mark. If you said Ginny McCluskey, you'd be way, way off mark. But if you said Bridget McCluskey, you'd be right. You're absolutely right. Bridget McCluskey, Mrs. McCluskey. Do you remember that? Do you remember Scruffy McGuffey? I used to go to school with his son, Scruffy McGuffey. I think his son was called Wolf, and I think his other son was called Bran. Okay, final question. Who's got 6 out of 7? Bev Hartnell's got 2. Fiona Cromack's got 2. Alison Fisher's got 3. Finally got a point, Fiona Reid. It's good that you didn't give up then, isn't it? Margaret O'Brien, 4. All good, Daisy Eaton, hope you're well. 4 for Sarah Witherington. 2, Good Ship Lollipop. Says Karen Oliver. Shonsta Migmon, 0. You never know, you might be able to put 6 out of 7 for Christos. He's online for a 7er, 7 out of 7. Okay, Natasha Milton, 1 again, not to worry. Final question. A rare silver coin minted in 69 AD and valued at $1 million was returned to Israel 20 years after being looted from a hoard discovered south of Jerusalem. But what is its denomination? So a rare silver coin has been found. It was made in 69 AD. What was its denomination? Was it A, a quarter agora? Was it B, a quarter pruta? Or was it C, a quarter shekel? The clue here is in where it was returned to. A rare silver coin was returned to Israel 20 years after being looted from a hoard discovered south of Jerusalem. Was it A, a quarter agora? B, quarter pruta? Or C, quarter shekel? Natasha Mulchan saying C. Haffy B saying B. Christos saying C. Angela Thompson, Janine Amory, Laura Williams, all saying C. Raspberry Mojito Girl saying A. Shaz's Life, have a guess at this one and you might get one. Sarah Witherington, Julie Rout, Fiona Reed, Margaret O'Brien, Alison Fisher, all saying C. The answer is a quarter shekel. Let us know if you got 7 out of 7, guys, because of course that's the end of the quiz. There's no Faith Goodman, was there? Where's Faith? I was going to say hashtag Friday, hashtag fuck off Friday. I don't know what, oh Christ, what's happening? Oh, that was Bethlehem. That's kind of symbolic, wasn't it? Jerusalem, Bethlehem. So guys, there you have it. Best score yet, Sarah Witherington 5, 2 out of 7 Fiona Reed, better than nothing. Selena Lufog 6, I think Christos got 7. Well done Christos, top of the class. Elizabeth Millett 4, Sarah Witherington 5, Bev Hartnell 2. Have a lovely day, guys. And for all you members, if you haven't joined, there is a little symbol underneath. You can join. You don't have to join for long if you don't fancy it. And you will be able to join us for a half-hour natter later today at 7:30 and a members No Name Sunday show tomorrow. It will be tomorrow morning, I think. And there will be a GFH landing at some point, and there is a home time vlog, locked and loaded, as they say. And go and check out Nadia's Meal in Minutes, which has just landed on the channel. Have a lovely Friday.